What's going on, people? It's your boy Tops back again for another Tops Talks Transfers show. Big up everyone in the building. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel, T Chanzo Sports, the home of sports. And let's get into it, man. A bit of breaking news in the last 2 or 3 hours, according to some kind of obviously outlets as well, in terms of some of the players that Arsenal are after, and also Spurs, as well as Liverpool potentially selling Luis Diaz as well, man. But let's go on to the Eze news. Now, obviously, it was dropped by, I think it was Ryan Taylor that dropped the news. This might be his article as well, saying Crystal Palace are hoping to keep both Muniz and Eze this summer. However, it appears that they have a fight on their hands, considering obviously there's a lot of teams after these two players after they've won the FA Cup. It says Muniz has revealed that he's open to leaving Crystal Palace this summer, despite signing a new deal with the Eagles in April. The FA Cup winning Colombian wingback has become a cult hero at Selhurst Park, with his lunge-busting surges up at the right flank, and he's now on the contract in the South East London club until 2028. But yeah, however, speaking to the media back in his homeland, where he's been stepping up the train in the new Premier League season, the former Atletico Nacional Muniz has claimed he's keen on a new challenge, whilst reaffirming he's still happy in Croydon. So that's definitely something to look out for. He was definitely one of those guys that ended up stepping up and scoring some crucial goals as well for Crystal Palace too. I do remember that as well. So yeah, it's one of those ones where they definitely want to keep him for sure. It said, I want to play for the best team in the world, but they haven't spoken to me directly. I dream and work for that every single day to achieve it, but I hope I can still make it happen as soon as possible. I hope it's this window, but if not, I'm very happy at Crystal Palace. So it's kind of just putting the feelers out there for any kind of team that really wants to step up and obviously buy him, try and pay for him. Maybe it's Manchester United. Maybe Man United need another right wing back, and they're hoping to swoop in. I don't know if they've got the money to do that. But yeah, it says after Lyon were handed a reprieve following their potential relegation to Ligue 2, there is now believed to be a high likelihood that Crystal Palace could be demoted from the Europa League to the Conference League following UEFA's extensive investigation into alleged breaches of multiple club ownership rules. Meanwhile, Palace have wrapped up the couple of summer signings as well. On to the Eze news, man. Furthermore, Arsenal are now poised to make a formal approach to Crystal Palace about Eze, who has a £68 million release clause following several rounds of discussions with his representation, CAA base. So obviously we're in talks with Eze's obviously team. Palace are optimistic they can fend off interest by pointing the Gunners towards the 27-year-old's buyout clause, as they have no desire to negotiate below that figure. Obviously, they're going to be tough in negotiations, especially seeing Arsenal pay a lot of money for Noni Madueke. So yeah, you're going to be looking to probably pay the release clause, if not a little bit cheaper, I would assume, because again, you're looking at it thinking, well, if they're willing to spend 50, 55 on a potential backup, this Eze potentially could be a start for Arsenal, depending on where he plays. Then yeah, we're going to want at least the 68 at least. So yeah, Arsenal's preference is to explore the possibility of landing Eze for a cheaper fee, though they are still prepared to put a significant amount of cash on the table after coughing up after coughing up £52 million for Noni Madueke. So yeah, they know what time it is, man. The England international is open to a move, and Mark Gay could also depart Selhurst Park before the transfer deadline is closed, as he's in his final year of his contract. Obviously, Gay is being eyed up by Liverpool and as admiration from Newcastle as well. And Mateta is being courted by AC Milan. So a couple of players that are definitely their key players are being touted by other top teams, which is obviously understandable considering they've all had good individual seasons. And obviously playing at Palace is not going to be the same for playing at a higher level team from someone else. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button. It says big up Tops, big up 7 on DR. It says big up Tops. They said when Berto was at the games and he was frowning at the football we played, he thought with the additions of Zubi, NordVPN and Madueke would improve this football tenfold. That's crazy when you actually think about it, man. It actually makes sense why these top gooners wanted Sesko over Gyokeres, because Gyokeres is a win now player, while Sesko is about process and that aligns with the manager. 100%, bro. This is why I wanted the opposite. This is why I didn't want Sesko, for the simple fact that it kind of just feeds into the narrative and the agenda of trying to wait again for another season or wait for this player to really come good, which could take 2, 3, 4 seasons or never happen. So you're just kind of prolonging the inevitable, really. You want that guy that comes in, no excuses, you know what he's going to do. And again, it puts pressure on everyone at the club, which is rightly so, because we've gone so much years without winning a major honor. So yeah, for me, getting him is the right deal. Obviously, we've not got him over the line yet. I'll have to get onto that. Obviously, him failing to go to training. But yeah, it's just, obviously just goes on about Palace and about them being linked with Diamande. But yeah, also, yeah, Eze is looking like we're going to advance talks with them, going obviously into talks with Palace to try and work out a deal. For me, again, I would just pay the 68 personally. I think it's definitely worth it. If you want to try and negotiate the deal, if you can try and get maybe something like 62, 60, maybe, and then pay 20 million installments, like obviously that was the plan for the 68, then maybe possibly if you want to save 8 million. But for me, I don't think 68 is an unreasonable kind of price tag for Eze personally, considering what the going rate market is. If you look at someone like Elanga going for 55, is he better than Elanga? I think he's better than Elanga by quite a bit, but by quite a distance, sorry, especially with Madueke as well. I think he's better than him by quite a distance too. So yeah, it's one of those ones, man, where you just got to think and look at how all the players are getting sold for and how much they're getting sold for, and if that measures up to what you think is going to be the reasonable price to sell a player. But yeah, it actually doesn't make any kind of sense for sure, man. You're absolutely right in terms of who we're going for, but it's one of those ones, people. It's one of those ones, man. Big up everyone tuning in, man. Make sure you guys smash up the like button on the video. But yeah, man, obviously Arsenal again are just trying to look for more opportunities to get some more plays in for sure. Let's have a look at this right now, man. Obviously, talking about Victor Gyokeres, David Ornstein did drop a I say bomber, but did drop something in the chat saying Victor Gyokeres does not intend to report back for pre-season training with Sporting as he pursues a move to Arsenal. Gyokeres feels betrayed and believes the club have gone back against their word to let him go for 60 million euros plus 10 million pounds. Plus 10 million euros, which Arsenal have already surpassed. So yeah, Arsenal have apparently bidded 65 million euros plus 10 million, on add-ons in terms of euros. And Sporting wants 70 million euros fixed fee and 10 million. Like I always said, I don't understand why we don't just pay it. It's 5 million more. We definitely know we can afford it if we get spending 52 on Madueke. It just doesn't make any sense to me, to be honest with you, why we wouldn't do that. But again, it's one of those ones where he's trying to force a move. I've got to respect it. He is trying to force his way out of the club. So yeah, man, anything to do with obviously trying to get yourself to where you need to be, then fair enough, man. Especially when you feel like the club has gone back on their word, for sure. Obviously, David Ornstein did drop as well about Noni Madueke being a player that potentially is having a medical sooner rather than later. It says Noni Madueke granted permission by Chelsea to leave the camp in the USA to undertake a medical before completing his Arsenal switch. The 23-year-old will not train with Chelsea and files to the UK today after a full agreement reached on £52 million, 5-year deal at Arsenal, which is in place as well. So yeah, this is definitely going to get done now. He's obviously on his route back for a medical. And yeah, I expect this one to be announced probably next week sometime. I know we go on tour the 19th of July, which I think that might be next Friday. I think it is. And then obviously we play the following week, the 23rd, against AC Milan. I think the first game is. So still a bit of time. But yeah, this one is definitely going to get done. And yeah, £52 million is crazy, man. Big up 7 on Diaz says these Portuguese clubs sell their players for high true values, something that Arsenal can never do. Yeah, they also do need to improve their selling power in terms of being able to sell for a decent amount, man. Because again, you're just looking at it and you're thinking, how are we not selling some of our players for a decent amount of money when other teams are selling maybe worse players for for more money than we are? So yeah, I think that definitely plays a part in terms of how other teams see us as well, you know, because again, if you don't take us seriously in terms of how we sell players and stuff like that, then it's going to be one of those ones where it's a bit of a peak situation when it comes to obviously offloading guys that you're not really rating. Do you know what I mean? If you can't negotiate yourself into a better deal to get rid of the players for a decent amount of price, you can invest in the team. So it is one of those ones where they definitely have to improve on indeed. Going on to Arsenal in terms of Victor Gyokeres, obviously more news about it. He says he's convinced of the transfer agreement as Sporting return is delayed. Obviously, he's failed to turn up to training. I think they started today, and he's communicated that to Sporting Lisbon that he will not be coming back ever again. Gunners are yet to agree a fee with Sporting for the prolific striker. Goes on to say Victor Gyokeres has reportedly seen his Sporting return delayed as links to Arsenal continue. Gyokeres was not among the initial batch of Sporting players to report back for pre-season training. And at the beginning of the month, it says although his absence was due to being granted extra time by the club after being away with the Swedish national team at the end of the season. He says, in fact, a Sporting statement read, those who have been away with their respective national teams will report to a training later date. There has been reports that the striker was due to report for obviously preseason training today, Friday, July the 11th, 2025. However, Portuguese publication Record claimed that the date has now been moved to tomorrow on Saturday. Regardless, he's not going to turn up. That's the same date as obviously other players that are away for Denmark and Portugal, respectively, in the under-21s. But he said, yeah, Gyokeres has no intention of turning up for training on Saturday unless there's a last-minute change of heart. He stated he's not bothered about potential sanctions from Sporting because he's convinced an agreement with Arsenal will be found. So he must be very convinced that he's going to get this deal over the line, man. Because again, he's literally ruining his, obviously, if he has a Sporting career left, he's definitely going to be ruining it. Considering, again, there's no one really going to be wanting him to keep him at the club if he doesn't obviously turn up for training and turn up for pre-season. It says, as revealed by Standard Sport, both clubs had hoped to reach an agreement over a transfer fee before the end of the week. Which is very true. Negotiations are ongoing, but Standard Sport reported last Sunday that Arsenal's current proposal of 65 million euros, 56 million pounds, plus 15 million euros, which is 13 million pounds in add-ons, was not enough and would needed to be increased. Gyokeres, as well, has reportedly already agreed personal terms with Arsenal on a 5-year contract, but remains to be seen whether a fee can be agreed between the clubs before the Gunners fly out to Singapore and Hong Kong for the tour next week. That is ideal. We need to get that done before the tour, 100%. So again, there's a bit of haggling. For me, that this has to be sorted, man. ASAP Rocky. It would nearly be a week since we were in advanced talks that we haven't really progressed. You don't want to get in a situation like Man United where you're looking after what 5-6 weeks with Mbeumo, still no kind of progress with that kind of deal. So for me, you gotta hurry up with this, man. You have to hurry up with this, man. Big up Godfrey, man. Hope you well. So big up Tops. I reckon this Gyokeres saga gets done by Sunday. I hope you're right, bro. That would be officially a week since the news dropped. So I hope you're right. Obviously, last Friday is when we did the madness in terms of getting the initial kind of contact with Sporting underway, where obviously Berta went to Portugal to try and negotiate. So maybe it's going to be a case where it's going to be this Friday today that it's going to be the same kind of thing, and then it won't be dropped in terms of the news getting out later or the media outlets until Sunday at the weekend. So hopefully that's the case, and we might see some kind of change in terms of what actually happens within the lineup, man. Big up, obviously, everyone tuned in. Obviously, onto other news as well. There might be some news about Leandro Trossard. Apparently, there's been a massive U-turn. I don't know how true it is, but let me get into it in a minute, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video if you've not already, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already, man. But yeah, there's been reports coming out of, I think it was Turkey in particular, that potentially there could be a situation where Leandro Trossard is actually going to be staying now at Arsenal, which is definitely something that's come out of nowhere because it looked like it could be going. This is obviously the Turkish report that initially reported the interest from Fenerbahce. She goes on to say, Fenerbahce have halted the negotiations due to Arsenal's refusal to lower Leandro Trossard's transfer fee. With plans B and C ready, the Yellow Navy team have turned to alternative wing player transfers. So that might actually now be off now, which is kind of crazy considering it literally this morning, it looked like it was on. He agreed to deal with, obviously, Fenerbahce to go, and it was just a fee with Arsenal to really kind of get that over the line. Again, I did say at the time that Turkish teams don't like to play hard, like a load of transfer fees, even though it looks like they're going to try and target some more high-profile Premier League players. So I do feel like, again, this might be maybe a negotiation tactic trying to get Arsenal to lower their transfer demands so they end up paying what they want to actually pay. Again, I don't think 20 million is out of pocket. I think that's probably around about right in terms of getting a player that's got Champions League quality, still obviously in his 30s, but still can provide goals and assists. So I feel like, again, maybe they're trying to negotiate down to a lower fee, maybe in the region of probably even like 13 to 14 million pounds, I'd probably say, rather than having to pay the 20. So yeah, I think it's a tactic. It might work, it might not. They might actually go to plan B and C and not even deal with Trossard. But I still feel there'll be still teams out there willing to acquire his services because, again, 1 year left is someone that can definitely impact your team on either wing and play in the false nine up front. So we want to really keep an eye on. I do feel like Arsenal are trying to press and push for his obviously departure for the simple fact that of the likes of Madueke, potentially Eze coming in through the door. You would assume they're going to try and get some people out. But in terms of what I think, again, like I said, if it means we have to strengthen the first left wing option and it means we're going to get a proper starter in and one of the sacrifices have to be Trossard or Martinelli, then so be it. I'm not too obviously, what's the word? Hung up on selling either one of the players. If I'm being honest, I feel like they've both been quite inconsistent the last year. Well, Trossard the last year, Martinelli the last 2 years. So I think a change of scenery for either could actually benefit their career as well. as well as Arsenal getting a refresh in that forward line, man. So, but yeah, definitely a massive U-turn for sure. Definitely a massive U-turn for sure. Big up everyone in the building, man. Make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel, man. Big up Godfrey says there's no way we don't get Gyokeres because of a 5 million gap valuation, but it is frustrating. 100%, man. It just seemed a bit silly considering you're seeing us pay 52 for Madueke. But for me, I feel like, again, this is probably just kind of bargaining chip in terms of trying to get your own way, trying not to be budged, try not to be a soft touch in the transfer market. If you just fold in every kind of situation, then yeah, people will just obviously take a ride for you. However, seeing that the position that Arsenal are in terms of being desperate for a striker to at least come in for pre-season, I feel like it's a position where this is kind of a deal that you just want to get done. You just want to get the striker in. I think a lot of more fans, Arsenal fans, will be a bit more relaxed of the starting season when they know they've got a striker through the door that can potentially start in the first game or impact the first game if he comes on off the bench. So I think that's a very key issue for sure. And I think they definitely need to improve on that and try and get this guy over the line before the start of the preseason. We got Godfrey said, I think 20 million is fair for Trossard, but I've actually got bread. This is what I'm saying, man. They're covering Duran's 300 grand per week on pay. That's crazy, man. That's crazy money. I didn't even know they were even covering the whole that. I thought it might be like a 80-20 split for the obviously the Saudi club. But yeah, that's crazy, man. So yeah, I think they have got bread as well, bro. I think it's more of a, like I said, negotiation tactic to try and get the fee lower down. If Arsenal kind of think, oh, we need to kind of get rid of this guy because Madueke's coming in. Maybe they'll soften their stance, but hopefully they don't. You've got to be firm in negotiations. And again, I think 20 is a fair deal, if I'm being honest, man, especially because he's not going to be on mad wages. I think he was only on, it might be 100 or something at Arsenal. He might even be lower, to be honest. I can't even remember. But yeah, he's not going to be demanding man wages, 3-year deal, someone that can obviously contribute in the Turkish league for sure. Still plays internationally as well. So yeah, I think for me, you got to look at it and think, well, if we can try and get that kind of money for him, he can go back into the kitty for potentially more players and make room for potentially more players as well. Big up 7 on Diaz says, if Trossard stayed, you can already now scrap that interest for Eze. We need to sell. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, again, it's one of those where Arsenal kind of operating in that kind of one in, one out kind of scenario, which I don't potentially agree with all of it because I think we need to strengthen the squad anyway as a whole. But I suppose with Trossard as well in particular, he's a guy that is very vocal about not getting game time. We've seen how his reaction was at Aston Villa where he didn't get the starting, obviously, nod in the game and obviously came on, scored a goal, didn't want to celebrate. And he kind of has that kind of personality where he will be vocal when he doesn't get those kind of minutes in game time. So maybe for him, especially when we get new players in, it's probably better off if he obviously moves on. Only got 1 year left as well, so he could potentially go on a free next year too in the summer. So I think overall it'll probably be a better thing for everyone if he does get moved on, sold on. We can get the money in for him and then potentially get more players. Big up Mr. Battle Red. Big up Tippy Toppy Tops, bro. Big up yourself, brother. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. Big up AJ, man. My brother. I hope you're good, my guy. Make sure you guys smash the likes on entry. Subscribe to the channel as well. Big up Tops every single time. 6 likes. Sell Trossard, then get Eze in. Yeah, I'm all for it, brother. I'm all for it. Big up Box Fresh. Back in the building, man. Where's Berta? That's all I want to know. Man said, bye, Felicia. Now, man, they're saying, yeah, out of the door, bro. Trossard out of the door. Now, you know what? I feel like, again, it's crazy, man. Big up AJ. Tops, I definitely don't agree with the boost Nani is getting, but not good enough, so I'm fuming. Yeah, bro, I echo that completely. You got to think as well, AJ, it's not his fault. It's literally, this is Arsenal that should be getting that kind of the criticism and in terms of what they're doing with the money and how they're spending it and not spending it wisely on certain plays that we don't need in this process 6 or 7 or whatever kind of phase you want to call it. And yeah, Nani, you got to keep him out of it. And if he joins the club, I'll support him for sure. Because again, it's got nothing to do with him, literally. Like, it's based on how the club have been moving, not only this transfer window, but the transfer windows in yesteryear. So for me, again, don't abuse him. Don't do anything. Don't DM him. Don't send him any kind of abuse. It's not acceptable. It's not good enough. And yeah, if he comes to the club, yeah, you got to just try and support him, obviously, because again, you want him to do well for the team, so the team wins. Whether he does or not, whether you think he will or not, obviously is another kind of opinion, another kind of statement. But yeah, you shouldn't be abusing players, man. Come on, guys. What are we doing here? It's never that deep. Do you know what I'm saying? It's never that deep, man. 8 days till we fly out to preseason. 100% AJ. 8 days, man. And again, where's the Mascara deal, bro? That seems to be quiet. I thought we would have got that over the line. It seems to be haggling over some money with that as well. It's just frustrating, man, because when reports come out with Arsenal, it's either two extremes. It's either we get the deal, you hear about the deal, and then the deal gets done within the same day. Kepa, Norgard, even Madueke was relatively quick considering we did the offer, yesterday or the day before, I think it was it was the Wednesday, and then by Thursday, it's here we go. You compare that to the Zubimendi one that dragged there's Gyokeres that's dragging. It's been a week. Then obviously every mascara, like it's either one or the other, man. It's never like we can just get our deals done out of the way and then we can all look forward to preseason. And listen, if the club can get Gyokeres in, potentially Eze in, if they want Madueke, obviously they're going to pick him. He's going to be in, and can get a new fresh team for preseason. Then a lot of people will be a bit more excited than they are now, because at the minute it's just looking like, bro, it's kind of the same old. Havertz up front, Saka or with one hamstring, and then Martinelli on the left, bro. We've seen this countless times, man. We need a refresh, 100%. 8 days until we fly out to preseason, says AJ. I'm fully burnt out. He should have been stopped. Listen, man, it's not looking good in terms of the signings that obviously he's made so far. Again, if he gets in the left winger Eze and Gyokeres, then I can see why. Look, again, you've got in the players that are needed, and there's no excuse. You've got backup or someone to compete with Odegaard. You've got a top left winger that can obviously start and replace the wingers that we've got. You've got a top striker in that can replace Havertz. And then these guys like Havertz, Odegaard, Martinelli, whoever's obviously the normal starters can be the squad players, which is fine. You can then rotate or whatever. And then again, there'll be no excuses because we would have spent a plethora of money. We would have got every single position we need to fill in terms of competition-wise and to improve the starting lineup in terms of quality-wise. And then we go from there. So you can still definitely deliver it. Whether we will or not, it's looking highly unlikely considering how much money we spent already. Big up Box Fresh. He says people have no class these days. 100%, bro. Like we do not condone obviously abusing players at Chanzo Sports, Tops, myself included. We don't condone doing that, man. Do not do that. Don't abuse anyone, if I'm being honest. Anyone in general. But yeah, just don't abuse that. It's just unnecessary. Box Fresh Liquid says, judge him on the window closed, but I need this location still. Mine said, yo, where's the guy at, man? Ops ready. You get me? He's ready to pull up. I hear him, man. Nah, listen, he's on the watch, man. We got to be watching what he does, where he's moving to, etc., etc. Because again, it's looking a bit spooky if he doesn't get all the top signings over the line, because you're thinking you're negotiating and you're giving the thumbs up, the green light to Madueke, but yet you're struggling to get Eze over the line. You can't sell players. You're struggling to get Gyokeres over the line. So yeah, you've got to really kind of weigh up the kind of options. Is he doing a good job or not at the end of the transfer window for sure? Box Fresh says Madueke's playing WCW, so how that signing work smells fishy. Yeah, listen, I don't know, man. It's crazy how it's worked. Obviously, he's gonna come over to the UK from America to get his medical in. So you assume that deal's going to be announced probably in the next, I don't know, 3 or 4 days. Probably this time next week, he definitely will be an Arsenal player. So yeah, you have to just question why we are obviously doing this in this order as well. Isn't it not easy to get the Gyokeres things over the line? And like I said, the PR for the window has been atrocious in terms of how they've lined up the order of the players. It's just been all over the shop. Even the Zubimendi thing they messed up because they announced and dropped the striker news the same day as that actually got dropped. I feel like they felt it was going to be double dopamine, but kind of just took away from the Zubimendi news in general. So yeah, man, it's kind of been a bit of a disaster if I'm being honest. Big up Godfrey says the top targets drag for weeks. They drop the bomb and then we get excited and it goes quiet for a while. Yeah, that has literally been the kind of the recurring theme in this kind of transfer window. They drop kind of it's like you said, a quote unquote bomber of interest, and then we're like, oh, there's a potential we could get Eze, there's a potential we could get Rodrigo, there's a potential we could get Gyokeres. Yeah, and then it just kind of dies. There's no kind of follow up, and then you're waiting weeks and weeks and weeks for any kind of like smooth resolution of it. If we're getting him, cool. If we're not, then just move on to someone else. And we're kind of in limbo with those kind of signings. The signings that we're not really excited about, the squad fillers, they get done pretty quickly. So yeah, it is very frustrating. Big up AJ says Box Fresh. No, because if the window is closed, we cannot do anything about it. Says AJ. Listen, it just depends if he does the job though. That's the thing. If he does the job and he gets in the plays that we need, then cool. But obviously you can only wait until he does it. Like, and also as well, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, this is Bert's first transfer window. Obviously, he will get for me personally, he will get until the end of the transfer window to see what he does. A lot of people that have been here before, they don't get that kind of luxury, that kind of grace of getting loads of different chances and windows because you know what they're about already. Do you know what I'm saying? You know what they've delivered already. But for him, for me, again, you got to wait until he sees what he does. Because I didn't think we'd get Gyokeres. It's looking like we will. And I thought we'd get Sesko. So that's definitely a change in shift of what we're actually doing long term, because again I feel like we've definitely changed targets and not gone for Sesko, but we shall see, man. Big up 7 on Diaz says they said we were monitoring every single player on the bench at CWC. Our eyes never left Chelsea's bench. Literally, man, that excuse of we're just waiting until that's over, bro, it's crazy because Chelsea are actually still in it. That's the maddest thing, and we've still managed to agree a deal. So yeah, that just goes to show, guys, like when they come up with excuses like they have to wait till July or they have to wait till someone's back or it's a World Cup year, it's all excuses, bro. If you really want to get the deal over the line, you can actually get the deal over the line if you really want to. They're proving it now by getting this deal over the line for sure, man. It's crazy, man. But man said, Noni number 10 is nasty work. I'm telling you, bro. That is nasty work. So yeah, that's obviously about Trossard. Yeah, that's nasty work, people. I don't think, surely not, he's not going to get number 10 or 14. I'm pretty sure. But we shall see, man. We shall see. Big up everyone tuning in. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. But yeah, obviously Sammy McBell obviously reposting this about Trossard in positive talks of a new contract. Hands of Urzo says we've been in talks for a while to renew. Reliably reported by obviously these two guys. So I don't know what's happening, man. Is he going to stay? Are we going to renew? If he renews, then surely Martinelli's going. One of these guys are definitely going, man. There's no way we're signing Madueke and keeping Martinelli and Trossard. There's no way, bro. I just can't see it personally. And if we do that, then we're not getting anyone else in. It's going to be the same left winger we've had for the last 2-3 seasons, man. And yeah, it's just going to be down again. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Obviously, a lot of reposting on Trossard and the signing the contract extension as well. Maybe, I don't know, I say protect his value. Maybe we sign it so then we can ask for more money up front. I don't know, man, what we're doing, to be fair. Obviously, it goes on about Gyokeres feeling betrayed as well. And obviously, there's no agreement being made with obviously Arsenal as of yet. He's not shown up for training, says Fabrizio Romano as well. So yeah, there's a lot of issues going on with this kind of thing, man. I said, remember, we are moving from the Emirates to Stamford Bridge to compete with the European elite. Yeah, literally, we're getting all their players, so it doesn't really make sense, man, to be fair. Look at yourself, man. It says Jackson 14 incoming. Oh my lord, man. If we get Jackson, oh my god, I don't think I could cope, bro. Big up Drew every single time. Yeah, man. Big up everyone in the chat, man. Big up everyone in the chat. Fire for them, of course, man. Big up everyone tuning in, man. Make sure you guys smash up the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel, man. If you've not already, just going through obviously certain kind of reports. Nothing too major happening. Obviously, the Eze deal is apparently underway. We're trying to open talks with Crystal Palace with the Eze deal. Well, again, we're trying to penny pinch for the simple fact that we want to get a obviously smaller pace deal in terms of getting a deal that can suit Arsenal. We don't want to pay the full release clause, but it comes to the stage where, again, you have to try and pay some of the money for the key players that you want. It's crazy how, again, for some players, we pay the maximum amount of money. For others, we don't pay the maximum amount of money. So, yeah, this is obviously Saliba in training. They've all Maslow Skelly in training as well. They're already in Spain doing their thing. Big up the boys. Obviously says the post, and obviously that's Martinelli in there, and Mikel Merino and Zinchenko still there. Lokonga still there as well. Is he actually going to play a part in pre-season, man? Zinchenko and Gabriel, that's obviously good news. Him actually training back from his injury. Remember, Havertz as well had a similar injury too, tearing his hamstring. Max Darwin and Calafiori in training as well. Zubimendi and Norgard as well there. Norgard and Timber obviously talking as well. So. And then Kepa, Arrizabalaga in the Arsenal colours. Reece Nelson, the forgotten guy, is there as well, man. So there's a few players that you're looking to try and sell, if we're being honest, man, before the end of the summer transfer window, because you don't really want to keep all of these guys there. But, oh, man, I don't know whether we're going to definitely do it, man. This is not the Arsenal I fell in love with. Yeah, bro, it's looking sticky, AJ. I can't lie, man. It is looking a bit sticky. But, yeah, all we can do is just kind of wait and see what happens, man. But, yeah, and just trying to hope. That's literally the only thing we can do. It's probably not going to happen, but yeah, just kind of hope, man, and just analyze what they do and say your opinion and do the best, man. But yeah, it says obviously again, Arsenal again. Ryan Taylor was saying they're poised to make a formal approach. All this poised and ready and advanced and all these kind of buzzwords is crazy, man. But yeah, poised to make a formal approach to Crystal Palace over Eze, who has a £68 million release clause following several rounds of discussions with his obviously representation. Palace are optimistic they can fend off the interest by pointing the Gunners towards the 27-year-old's buyout clause, as they have no desire to negotiate below that figure. Arsenal's preference is to explore the possibility of landing Eze for a cheaper fee, though they are still prepared to put a significant amount of cash on the table. So potentially, maybe we can even try and get maybe a player plus cash kind of deal or something like that if they don't want to pay, as it might do us kill two birds with one stone if you want to get rid of Reece Nelson or a Zinchenko or someone like that. I know there was obviously reports that Josh Nichols was apparently suggested to be involved in the deal. Don't know how much money that would take off the deal because he's a youngster and never played a Premier League game for us. But yeah, there's still a lot of options, man. There's still a lot of options. I just hope we get this kind of done as well, because again, Bayern Munich will be sniffing, man. Other teams definitely will be sniffing around. I know he said his preference is to come to us as of now, but you never know. Someone might make themselves available to sign him, and then yeah, the game changes, man. But we'll see. We'll see, man, what happens with that, man. Big up everyone tuning in. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel. That's obviously Fabrizio just confirming there was no official kind of talks with Fenerbahce about Leandro Trossard. So yeah, it is looking like he possibly might stay. This news always develops and evolves every single day, man. But yeah, big up everyone tuning in. I'm going to go to other news now. Other news apart from Arsenal, because again, there's been some breaking news with Luis Diaz. Apparently, Bayern Munich are keen to sign him and have placed a new bid. It says Bayern Munich are clearly had the hump with Florian Wirtz after obviously he was loaned to Liverpool rather than going to them. So now they want to take their revenge by obviously trying to get a spot for Luis Diaz from the Reds. It suggested that they have offered a £52 million bid for the 28-year-old, and that new talks have taken place between the Diaz representation and Bayern Munich's sport of director. This seems to be the new lick, man, trying to get their representation on board, on site, that to make them believe in quote-unquote projects or where you're obviously heading into, and then go from there. It seems like that's going to be the new kind of vibe of trying to get transfers through the line. So Liverpool aren't having any of it, hinting that they would consider letting the Colombian go only if a significant offer arrived. 52 doesn't fall into that category. So they're probably looking to get 80, 90, man, where you're thinking, you know what, we can let this guy go for sure. But he says the player himself has suggested he's open to an exciting offer. Remember, he's only on, I think it's 70 grand a week. I think he's got 2 years left. So he definitely wants a pay increase considering how important he is to Liverpool. One of them probably main stars playing on the left or up front. But yeah, it says that Liverpool are neglecting trying to negotiate that improved offer, thinking we don't really want to give him this bumper contract with extended years when potentially he could decline, maybe get a bit worse, and then we're struggling to get him off the wages as well. So yeah, it's kind of a sticky situation where if in ideal word for Liverpool, I feel like they just want to offer him maybe a contract extension, but on the same kind of money or similar money. But they kind of know that they're going to have to offer him decent amount. He's first team squad money. He's not going to be on 80 grand. If people like Salah and Van Dijk and all these kind of guys, I think even Chiesa is on like 150 and he hardly even played. He just came into the club. So, bro, he's got to be on more than Chiesa, man. Like, he literally contributed and nothing. I know he might be getting sold, but the point still stands. So, yeah, he's going to be probably looking for like 200 grand, especially if he thinks he's been underpaid for the last 2 years or something. So, yeah, it just suggests that his player, obviously, he's excited by the offer, but the sticking point may be obviously the improved contract at Anfield, which he's kind of looking to do. But yeah, Liverpool appear that they don't really want to give him a contract extension in terms of doubling his money or whatnot. It says, wow, Darwin Núñez is on more than double Diaz's wages as well. He's linked with Napoli. That could be potentially a move away from Liverpool, as well as Liverpool still on the radar for Alexander Isak, man. So that's definitely one to look out for. Obviously, Fabrizio is saying that, again, Newcastle still after Nketiah. So that would surely mean that's going to be like a swap, considering Nketiah is rated £85 million. There's no way you're doing that for a backup. So you've got to assume he's going to probably be giving him to him for sure. Big up everyone in the building, man. He says, at first, big up 7 on Diaz. Says, at first, Gyokeres switched his boot sponsorship from Nike to Adidas, caught his transfer as well. Fee supposedly dumped his girlfriend, refused to return to his club, or for Arsenal, but he don't want to claim. What doesn't make any sense is if at the moment we get a new manager, he could get 2 years to win of him. He gets sacked, but they give Arteta 7. Yeah, this is the thing, man. And I feel like, again, if they get a manager, like, for example, they get Emery, who, by the way, they didn't want Arteta, didn't really give Emery that much time. Obviously, he definitely wasn't good enough at the time he was there. And considering, again, we were obviously got battered in the Europa League final, didn't get us in the Champions League. Didn't get a lot of money in the first season, got more in the second. And he had us, even though we were only like 4 or 5 points off top 4, he definitely had us, I think, in like 8th or 9th. But yeah, considering how much money he got compared to Arteta, it's just chalk and cheese, you know what I'm saying? So I agree. I feel like the next manager is probably going to get less time because I think reluctantly they're going to have to sack Arteta potentially if he doesn't achieve his goals and the pressure mounts from the media and stuff. So yeah, it's one of those ones to keep a lookout for sure. Is it true that Diaz was at an event at the same day as John's funeral? Because then rumors started that he's leaving. Yeah, apparently he was, man. I don't think that's confirmed. Definitely, if it's the same date. Again, we've seen the pictures, but that could be from anywhere. I don't think it was confirmed. It was definitely that date. And if he knew at that point as well, that's another thing too. So yeah, I think you just got to be careful, obviously what you read and stuff like that, because people can obviously bring out a narrative that may not even be true. So I don't even know, bro, to be honest with you, if that's definitely confirmed. But yeah, man, it just says obviously Liverpool are looking at Isak as well. It's all happening at Nottingham Forest, but not in a good way. It says Elanga's obviously leaving. Morgan's Gibb White was set for a medical, but apparently that deal could be potentially off. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. Then they're after Wissa as well. So they've had a £25 million bid rejected. Obviously, Brentford want close to 50. You got to argue that again. You probably say Mbeumo is better than Wissa, but again, Vissa's still a very good player. So Mbeumo, if they want 70 for him, there's no way they're going to accept anything less than probably 50, 60 for Wissa in it. So, and he got 19, 20 Premier League goals last year. So yeah, it's one of those ones where you got to stump up the money. I feel like replacing Wissa with Elanga would be a very good replacement for sure. So it's one of those ones you're gonna have to wait and see. Playing obviously in Europe as well. So yeah. Could be a good switch. It says also Spurs have shown interest in Mbeumo, but he wants to go to Manchester United. Still no update on that deal. And we get into pre-season. Still no progression in if they're going to actually sign Mbeumo. If it's going to be the start of pre-season, if it's going to be start of the season, no one actually knows still. So yeah, another one to obviously keep an eye on it as well. Back to Forest, they said they're reportedly looking to fill the shoes of Gibbs White with midfielder James McAtee. The 22-year-old has just captained the England 21s to Euros glory, which might have put a few quid on the transfer fee, by the way. But Forest are believed to be offering 25, but City want something of north. This is what I'm saying. McAtee has been a bit part play for Manchester City. They want 40 mil, but we can't get 20 for Trossard, who's literally been our starter for the last season or something. Got X amount of goals against top teams. This is what I mean. I know he's older, but he just sees the point, bro. Like, when you're good at selling players, man, you just stick to your evaluation and get some good money for them. I'm not even sure how much games even McAtee's even started for Manchester City. Can't be that many. It says West Ham are also sniffing around after having sold Kudus to Tottenham. Tottenham obviously trying to get some more deals over the line, man. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see what actually happens with that for sure. It says if we bottle Gyokeres, watch us get massive DCL, bro. Oh my God, no way, man. It's crazy. Spurs are cooking with their transfers. Wissa, Gibbs White, Kudus is good business. Yeah, apparently, bro, like I said, big up yourself, Godfrey. They would be cooking as well with them signings if they can get over the line. But apparently, it's looking like potentially the Morgan Gibbs White deal is potentially off. It's saying Morgan Gibbs White to Tottenham currently off as Nottingham Forest consult lawyers. So yeah, they're not happy with the approach. They're saying it's illegal by Tottenham Hotspur. It says Tottenham Hotspur moved to take Gibbs White from Nottingham Forest is currently off as far as consultant to consult their lawyers, according to journalist Rob. Let's have a look. Ben Jacobs here. What's this? I'll get back onto that in a minute. So Spurs have been rapidly closing in on signing the midfielder amid a £60 million release clause in his City ground contract. They've been preparing to pay it and have been anticipating no issues in adding Gibbs White to the squad at Tottenham. However, things have changed drastically as Tottenham's plan for a speedy capture has been knocked back. Of course, Nottingham Forest currently consider the deal off, with the club talking to the lawyers about what they feel has been an illegal approach for their player. Damn. So they feel like they've done it illegally. The club have not even given permission for Spurs to hold talks with Gibbs White and have cut off all communications with Tottenham. And it suggested that it remains unlikely they can block a move from taking place, but it will be delayed. Nottingham Forest appear incredibly unhappy with Tottenham's move to take Gibbs White from the City ground. Losing the midfielder will come hot off the heels of losing, obviously, Elanga to Newcastle as well. So they're losing a few players. When the news of Gibbs White to Tottenham first broke, former star said in his view, the fans will be fuming at the development. Whether Nottingham Forest can meaningfully throw a spanner in the works of Tottenham's bid remains to be seen. But an illegal approach could have implications if proven to have taken place. So yeah, man, they're definitely not happy with how they're dealing with the situation for sure. Man said go and get Morgan Gibbs White because he's better than Odegaard. 11 likes, pick up AJ, man. Bro, if there's a deal to be had, then do it, man. Man said the legal approach is always something new I learned. Listen, bro, it's always developing every single day, Godfrey, man. So I'm the same. I didn't even know about this until about 5 or 6 minutes before I came on. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy, man. There's always a development. So we'll see how that one gets on. I got to admit, I don't feel like they can definitely block it almost all the time. I feel like, again, it's probably going to be a case where they're going to be delaying it for a certain period of time until maybe even Tottenham maybe even offer a bit more as a kind of a what's the word? Not apology, but kind of like, you know what, we went around it the wrong way. We'll give you a bit more P for him to kind of smooth things over. Because again, for me, the fact that he triggered the release clause and wanted a medical schedule for day, they wanted this guy in before people like Manchester City sniff around, potentially Arsenal sniff round as well on other teams. So yeah, they want to get this done ASAP Rocky, but yeah, it's not looking like it could be done anytime soon, man. It looks like they're actually trying to block the thing, which is kind of crazy, but we will see what actually happens with that, man. But again, I feel like with Tottenham, if they do get those signings over the line, they potentially could have a good season. I can't lie, because again, when you've got a new manager, when you've got someone that can bring out fresh ideas, obviously everyone's going to start on zero. There's not going to be that kind of we finished 17th kind of vibe. And they're in the Champions League as well, so maybe they can get some momentum from doing that too. It's crazy, man. But yeah, we shall see, man. We shall see. Obviously, a bit of some more news from Ben Jacobs about Gyokeres. He says, Understand Sporting have told Gyokeres this morning they expect him back at training tomorrow, but the Swedish striker is refusing. Urgency to resolve the situation quickly now from all sides. Pardon me. So that's only good news for Arsenal, because again, if they want him back and he's saying no, they might fold. They might say, you know what, we'll just take the 65. We just want this out of our hair. It's just becoming a unnecessary media drag where it's getting embarrassing for both clubs that this kind of deal's kind of dragging on and on and on. So yeah, I'm hoping, man, within the next 48 hours, man, we can get some update on this kind of deal being advanced and not even advanced, being like done in terms of an agreement, and then we can all move on, man. Big up Chris, who says Forest need to get a life. Says Chris, Diaz was at an event called South American Deal with Grief a different way. That's fair enough, man. That's fair enough. I did say that at the time that I weren't going to judge him if he's out partying or whatever, because people deal with it differently. And he couldn't get there as well because he was across the world. Unless it was the same because of the funeral. So maybe he just wanted to take his mind off things and or whatever. So yeah, it was one of those ones, man. Big up Godfrey says Gyokeres deal will get done. This is an indication Sport will take the 65. It's looking like it, Godfrey, bro. It's looking like it, man. Especially with them saying that they still expect him to be at training tomorrow, which is obviously a Saturday. And he's looking like he's refusing. So for me, I think if you can try and get that done over the line and try and obviously force their hand a little bit, I think that would obviously be ideal. But at the minute, man, it's looking like potentially it might not be the case where it comes in terms of us trying to get a proper deal for him, man. I said buzzwords, I understand Ben Jacobs is a fraud and a waffler. How about that, says Chris. Big up yourself, man. I think, again, obviously these journalists are trying to obviously do their job and trying to maybe prolong the information more, considering there's probably not been an update by either teams. Do you know what I'm saying? It's probably no one even knows, but again, for more content to obviously produce more kind of articles out there that kind of suggest things have stalled or they're not happy with certain situations. That's why there's no update, etc. So yeah, man, it's one of those ones you gotta just kind of take it with a pinch of salt, if I'm being honest, man. It's one of those ones for sure. But yeah, Gyokeres obviously potentially could be on his way to Arsenal again, just waiting for confirmation that they can agree a deal. But hopefully it's not too long, man. Hopefully it's not too long. But yeah, man, big up everyone tuning in, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button. Obviously, Diaz again could be having a move away. Would that be necessary? Do you think he would go to Bayern Munich? Would Liverpool sell him as well? I think they would for the right price potentially, but I think it's going to be in the region of probably 70 to 80 million, I reckon, because again, I don't feel like they're going to there are no kind of what's the word? No kind of urgency to sell. Do you know what I'm saying? No kind of urgency to sell, man. But yeah, obviously more about Noddy Madueke. Says unplayable star set to unplayable, Unplayable star set to jet to the UK for Arsenal medical today. So Arsenal have taken one step further in their bid to sign Chelsea star Noddy Madueke, according to reports, with the Blues star being granted permission to leave the Blues camp in America before leaving for their North London rivals in a major swoop. Mikel Arteta has already signed obviously Kepa and Zubimendi this window, with the latter joining from Real Sociedad in a £60 million move alongside Christian Norgard, who joined from Brentford earlier in the week, although those deals were expected to go through for some time. Now the attention has turned to their attacking ranks with Kepa, with the club needing extra firepower and depth to fire them over the line when it comes to winning trophies. So obviously he's flying over. He's flying over to England now after obviously being in America for the Club World Cup for Chelsea. It says the main target, Victor Gyokeres, is now refusing to take part in obviously pre-season, which you said before, in a bid to force through a move after spellbinding season in obviously the Portuguese league, notching 39 goals in 33 games. That's just in the league as well, by the way, winning the Portuguese top flight as a result. But it now appears Madueke will get there first with Enzo Maresca, allowing him to depart after 2.5-year stint at Stamford Bridge, with Arteta slowly set to welcome the England international into his squad, according to reports, man. So yeah, a lot of if buts and maybes in terms of if they're going to allow him to be a part of the squad for sure. It says, as for the I said, big up the chat, man. I'm just getting through it now. Big up AJ says, Victor Gyokeres, Victor Gyokeres Eze must be on the plane in 8 days, otherwise the season is done. Obviously, he's not happy with the situation. Chris says, Arsenal fans need cheering up after Madueke, 100%. Damn, can't our approach for getting Madueke also be illegal? Listen, man, that's actually funny. As far as Rodrigo, that dream is gone. So just pay for Lookman buyout clause. I agree, bro. I think just get someone that's a top level left winger, man, and just move on from there. But facts remains we'll get our man. Pause. Did you know Madueke scored 7 goals and 5? And bro, that is crazy, man. 7 goals and 5 the previous, man. So man's not even got 10 in a campaign before. That is mad. In a league season, even. Oh dear. Yeah, this is what potential gets you, man. This is what potential gets you for sure, man. We got everyone tuning in, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel, of course. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's absolutely craziness. I don't see how we can potentially do it like this, man. But yeah, back onto the article. It goes on to say, and the report from obviously David Ornstein states that Madueke has been granted permission by Chelsea to leave their camp in the USA, having reached the Club World Cup final, and that will be seen as unplayable star to undertake his medical at the Emirates Stadium before completing a move to the Gunners. Yeah, man, crazy. Nani Madueke granted permission by Chelsea to leave camp in the USA, undertake a medical before completing an Arsenal switch. The 23-year-old will not train with with Chelsea and files to the UK after full agreement reached on the £52 million deal. 5-year contract, etc., man. The winger won't train with the Blues, instead flying back to the UK today to finalise the switch after a full agreement was reached on the £52 million deal. The winger has a 5-year deal in place once the move to North London is done and dusted. Madueke has made 92 appearances for the West London outfit with 29 goal contributions in that time. And although he's likely to feature as a backup to Bukayo Saka, he's also been developed on the left wing and obviously look to overtake Martinelli in that spot should he show a strong form of should he show a strong form at the Emirates Stadium, man. So yeah, crazy work, man. Crazy work, man. There's just no excuses for not to get obviously all the other deals done now, innit? Obviously, like AJ said, if you can't get Rodrigo, go get a Lookman, pay the release clause, pay the money you need to. We've got money. We've just spent 50 on a quote-unquote backup, so we've got the piece, man. We've got the money, man. So, yeah, there's no actual kind of excuse to not really delve into that, really, to be honest with you. I feel like, again, if you're looking at the fact that maybe potentially the likes of Madueke is a starter, then we've got bigger issues, in my opinion, because I don't think he's definitely hasn't got the ability, especially now. Whether he will or not in the future remains to be seen as well. I don't think he's got the ability to steer us into stardom, steer us into the Premier League limelight to finally win the Premier League title. So, yeah, it's one of those ones where I don't know, man. It's just a bit of a sticky one. Bit of a sticky one still, man. It says, big up 7 on DR. Says here, I thought Madueke will play in the final on Sunday, score the winner like Havertz, so that we can big him up even more. Oh, yeah, man. This is it, bro. The thing is, if they win it, he'll still get a medal, I believe. Instead of when he played, obviously, a part in the tournament. So, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just one of those sticky ones, bro. Like, I feel like, again, it's up to Arsenal to kind of sway the fans in the positive direction of being positive with this transfer window for sure. And at the minute, we've not had much to smile about, man. We've not had much to smile about, man. But the sun's shining. It's a good day. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day as well. Regardless of obviously what's happening in the transfer window. And yeah, man, hopefully we can obviously have a good summer in general and go from there, man. Obviously, more about Ben Jacobs and more about Nottingham Forest being unhappy with Tottenham Hotspur making an illegal approach. He says Nottingham Forest have reported Spurs to the Premier League this afternoon for making an illegal approach and have threatened legal action. Wow. Spurs have received a communication asking them to cease contact with Gibbs White. So this is kind of similar to what obviously Carlos was talking about yesterday about them obviously trying to get Elise in terms of behind the scenes trying to get him to come to Chelsea, and then Crystal Palace threatening legal action as well. And then they just kind of drop all kind of, not charges, but kind of dropped any kind of contact with Elise, and he ended up signing a new contract and then going to Bayern Munich, I think, the next season. So this seems like a kind of similar kind of scenario. It's as far as declined to comment, but sources say that the club believe Spurs tapped up Gibbs White and could challenge the manner in which the 60 million clause was learned of. Oh, wow. So maybe it's a thing where they've gone behind Nottingham Forest is back, because that was a clause I didn't even know. That's the thing with probably England and probably English players in obviously in the Premier League. But a bag of probably players have got probably release clause. You know, it's just not made like apparent, or it's not obviously put into the media what's in their contract. So again, it's a thing where you kind of just kind of learn maybe like word of mouth or whatever, where people tell other people that know about that kind of clause, and then you kind of trigger. We see that again with is it McAllister for Brighton? He had that £35 million release clause that Liverpool found out about and end up just triggering. They end up getting him for really, really cheap. So yeah, it's crazy one, man. The Premier League will now investigate leading to the deal being delayed and potentially in doubt. So yeah, he might not be off. I mean, it depends if kind of Gibbs White is the type of player to kick up a fuss. Maybe he says to Nottingham Forest, look, I really want to leave. If that can get them to pay a bit more money for me, can they kind of negotiate something a bit more? But yeah, it's looking a bit sticky for Spurs. I can't lie, man. Looking a bit sticky for Spurs. But yeah, big up the chat, man. Big up the chat. It says, keep that tab under our manager. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, for sure, man. Big up Godfrey says we can pay $3 million for Marquinhos. He was a free transfer. We have an extra 5 for Glock 9. I wonder how we get away with that, paying for a free transfer. It's crazy. 100%, bro. It was to keep good relations, apparently. And now Edu's not even there. And Marquinhos has been sold as well. So that was kind of pointless, bro. This how we move in the market is crazy, man. I can't lie. That's absolutely mine, man. Big up YB. He says, we make this mistake over and over again. I don't know where this problem is Arteta or Burr or the owners of the club. Really, I don't know. Big up Yasser, man. Listen, bro, I feel like again it's a mixture of kind of everyone in terms of maybe again Arteta kind of signaling this kind of players that we want, making sure that we kind of overpay for certain players, but no one overpays for our kind of players. I feel like the only kind of team that overpaid in the last 5 or 6 years is Eddie Nketiah. I think we got 30 million for him. I don't think I definitely thought we could have got 30 for him, but I don't think potentially he's worth that considering what he's done since then for Palace, not really playing a pivotal part there. But yeah, that's kind of the only player that I feel like, again, Arsenal have sold where you think, okay, we've got a good deal there. Maybe Smith Rowe as well, 34. Obviously, he had a decent season at Fulham, didn't blow up trees. I don't think he got an England call-up. I don't think he did. So yeah, but it's one of those ones where I feel like, again, Arsenal need to kind of just change maybe their philosophy in terms of how they do things and make sure they're more of a hard kind of team to kind of negotiate with in terms of not just getting the player, but not being told that you're gonna have to pay this amount and ended up paying it every single time. I know you obviously wanted to do it for certain like type of players, like the striker, definitely key areas. Then 100% agree. But when you're doing it for backups, it's kind of like, what the hell? Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, bit of a sticky one, man. Bit of a sticky one, but it's one of those ones where you've got to just kind of analyze the situation and just hope, you know what. It's crazy, really. Very, very crazy. Very, very crazy, man. Big up everyone tuning in, man. Make sure you guys smash up the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, man. Because, again, it really helps the channel grow if you've not done it already. Really does help it. Obviously, Edu doing his job signing a Brazilian there, Cunha. Yeah, 5-year contract, man. So he's going to be playing for Nottingham Forest. So I think they've got him and obviously Jesus as well, the striker they bought from the same club. So, yeah, man, definitely want to keep an eye on. Obviously, Ben Jacobs just repeating the news that Manawaki's been given permission to fly and undergo a medical at Arsenal, signing a 5-year deal formulation to happen immediately, and Manawaki will not be part of Chelsea's Club World Cup final. So yeah, he won't be a part of that at all. Obviously just talking about the legal action from Nottingham Forest as well. So yeah, man, quite a lot happening today, to be fair. It's crazy, man. The deal is delayed as it stands. Spurs in the dark and had planned a medical and completion for this afternoon, you know. So yeah, they've Uno reversed it, bro. They thought, yeah, you think you're gonna do that? I don't think so, man. Understand reports linking Conor Gallagher with Newcastle are wide off the mark, so that's obviously not true as well. And yeah, just going back to the Gyokeres news, man. Also, as well, McAtee, West Ham and Nottingham Forest are among the clubs interested in signing James McAtee. McAtee also has interest from clubs in Germany. City valued the 22-year-old in a similar bracket to Cole Palmer at the time he left, who joined Chelsea for 40 mil, man. Is he going to be as good as Cole Palmer? I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, City do get good money for their youngsters, to be fair, even if they've not played. I said, yes, sir, all of them, 100%. When Forest have a better summer then what? Yeah, listen, Forest, Tottenham, whoever, man. Whoever, bro. So, you just gotta, yeah, man. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You just gotta kind of wait and see. But yeah, it's not looking good at the minute, man. It's not looking good at the minute. But things can change. This is what I'm saying about you gotta wait till people hold up the shirt. Look at this, man. Tweet 2 hours ago. Morgan Gibbs White will complete his move to Tottenham today. Spurs will pay 60 million. So that was supposed to be done and dusted, or everything considered. all of that, and now it's looking like it's delayed and potentially off in the space of 2 hours. So this is why, again, with the transfer talks and news and stuff like that, obviously you can take what they say with a pinch of salt, really, because again, things can change on the instant. This is why until they're holding up the shirt on the website, it's like, okay, we're looking like we're going to sign him. It looks like it's done, but is it actually done? Is it actually completed? Because again, this got a here we go, by the way, by Fabrizio as well yesterday. So again, it's not a here we go at a minute. Let me see if he's actually commented on this kind of here we go as well, by the way, because again, it looks like he's kind of jumped the gun there. I know probably a lot of people weren't expecting them to try and do legal action, but even so, man, you've got to do your due diligence until you drop the here we go, bro. Because yeah, a lot of us Tottenham fans did get excited. Obviously, Galatasaray keeping advancing in talks to sign Victor Osimhen with new proposal structure sent to Napoli, 70 million euros with bank guarantees for installments now on the table. Decision up to Napoli again. Negotiations continue. So potentially, that's a lot of money, man, for a team like Galatasaray, because again, they're not really obviously known for spending big cash on players on a regular basis. So fair play. And obviously, it looks like Osimhen's happy there. Again, one of those ones where you wouldn't think so. But here we go. Nani and Arsenal says with a tick. So obviously, that's probably confirmed. But yeah, he has actually mentioned this. So Nottingham Forest prepare a complaint to the Premier League for Morgan Gibbs White for the move to Tottenham Hotspur. Nottingham Forest working on potential legal action as they believe Spurs made an illegal approach to the player, as Sky Sports reported, man. So he kind of touched on it, not really gone into depth in terms of about the here we go and if he's definitely gonna still go to Spurs. So that's definitely one to watch as well, man. Definitely one to watch as well. But yeah, big up everyone that's tuned into the obviously channel and the video, man. And yeah, it's been a good little stream there. Big up AJ as well, man, for being involved. I really appreciate you guys obviously in the building, man. And yeah, it's yeah, not much has happened, to be fair. And been one of the more quiet streams. But again, it's one of those ones where you just got to think again. Teams are probably in the background trying to do certain things, and you're just kind of looking at thinking, are they actually going to pull the trigger when it comes to getting Gyokeres over the line? I know Godfrey's very confident. Hopefully he's right and they do it. But yeah, that's kind of what everyone's kind of waiting for sure. Do you know what I'm saying? So bit of a sticky one, but it's certain guy in it. Yeah, you get me, certain guy. But big up everyone tuning in, man. Make sure you guys smash the like button on the video, all of that good stuff. Really appreciate you, man, in the building. Yeah, I'm gonna change it up, man. I think I'm gonna rate to views now, man. He's giving me a load of raise. So I'm gonna rate to views, man. But big up views. Make sure you go in there and say T Chanzo raids to views. Well, yeah, man, it's been a good stream. It's been a good show, and I'll catch you, man, on the flip side, man. Peace and love. I'll probably be doing the World Cup final with PSG and Chelsea, so that'll be on Sunday. So yeah, make sure you stay tuned for that, man. But yeah, till then, man, don't hate to play at the game. I'm out, people. Peace.